Alfanta from BA3A. For my topics here about function of central bank.
What is the function of a central bank? A central bank is an integral part of the financial and economic system. They are usually owned by the government and given certain functions to fulfill. These include printing money, operating monetary policy, the lender of last resort, and ensuring the stability of financial system.
Ba't kailangan or ano yung role ng central banks sa ating mga pera? Number 1, issue money. The central bank will have responsibility for issuing notes and coins and ensure people have faith in notes which are printed. Example, protect against forgery or yung mga manloloko ng gaya ng pera. Printing money is also an important responsibility because printing too much can cause inflation. So yun nga. One of my classmates asked my prof, bakit di gumawa ng pera? Okay? Kasi ang dahilan dyan, or napaisip na, dahilan nga daw dyan, once na dumami yung pera, bababa o liliit yung worth ng pera. Maliit na nga, mas lalo pang liit. At ang sumunod ay yung dadami yung pag dumami yung pera or madami yung nagawa, okay, magiging konti yung supply. Maliit na nga yung worth, lumiit pa o maging konti na lang yung supply doon para gumawa ng pera o ng money. Ang ano ba is lender of last resort to commercial banks. If bank get into liquidity shortage, then the central bank is able to lend the commercial bank sufficient funds to avoid the bank running short. So, ayun nga. Once na yung bank ay na shortage, so ito, matutulungan pa siya. This is very important function as it helps maintain confidence in the banking system. If a bank ran out of money, people would lose confidence and want to withdraw their money from the bank. Having a lender of last resort means that we don't expect a liquidity crisis with our banks. Therefore, people have high confidence in keeping our savings in banks. For example, the U.S. Federal Reserve was created in 1907 after a bank panic was averted by intervention from J.P. Morgan. This led to the creation of a central bank who would have this function. And next is lender of last resort to government. Government borrowing is financed by selling bonds on the open market. There may be some months where the government fails to sell sufficient bonds and so has a shortfall. This will cause panic amongst bonds investors and they will be more likely to sell their government bonds and demand higher interest rate. However, if the Bank of England intervene and buy some government bonds, then they can avoid this liquidity shortage. This gives bond investors more confidence and helps the government to borrow and lower interest rate. Next is, pang-apat is target low inflation. Many government give the central bank a target for inflation. Example, the bank, okay? Low inflation help to create greater economic stability and preserve the value of money and savings. So once nga andun yung worth ng money, magsisave ka na magsisave. Kasi once na, ay mababa naman yung value, okay, mas malaki yung value ng money, andun yung nag-save. And para maiwasan yung inflation, we need target of inflation. May target, may limitation kung hanggang saan lang. Number 5, target growth and unemployment. So as well as low inflation, the central bank will consider other macroeconomic objectives such as economic growth, okay, and unemployment. So hindi lang din yung bank kundi yung kasama din yung mga employee, yung macroeconomic, kung sino yung mga unemployment. For example, here in a period of temporary cost push inflation, the central banks may accept a higher rate of inflation because it doesn't want to push the economy into a recession. And next, number 6, operate monetary policy or interest rates. The central bank set interest rate to target low inflation, my target, and the MPC will meet the evaluate whether inflationary pressure in the economy justify a rate increase to make a judgment on inflationary. So, dito, nakapaloob, okay, economic situation and look variety, economic statistic nakikita. How's the bank? Okay. And next is unconventional monetary policy. The central bank may also need to use other monetary instruments to achieve macroeconomic target. For example, here in a liquidity trap, lower interest rates may be inefficient to boost spending and economic growth. In this situation, the central bank may resort to more unconventional monetary policies such as quantitative easing. This involves creating money and using this money to buy bonds. The aim of quantitative easing is to reduce interest rate and boost bank lending. And lastly, number 8, ensure stability of the financial system. For example, here, regulate bank lending and financial derivatives. Function of central bank are usually outlined as follows: issuer of banknotes and coins, banker to government, advisor to government, custodian of bank's cash reserve, central clearance and settlement of interbank claims, custodian of the gold and other foreign reserve of the country, management of the money and banking system, lender of last resort, public debt management, formulation and execution of monetary policy, open market operation, collection and interpretation of economic statistics, supervisor of banks, and last is administration of exchange control. Achieve applicable. This, however, is a scattered approach and not especially useful. Many of the functions of the central bank can be grouped into a more logical framework. For example, the function banker to the government, advisor to government, and public debt management belong together. Similarly, lender of last resort, custodian of bank's cash reserve, and management of the banking system belong together. A more logical framework of the function of central bank is shown here.